online recently, in the sense that just because you share a link, sometimes a lot of people do not see the post just because it's a link.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, no, 75% of your links are not seen on Facebook.
Yeah,
because
That's
they
what
want
pisses
to
me
pay
off.
for that.
Yeah.
And on top of that, but the way to get around it, I mean, one thing that pisses me off about Facebook, it's now becoming the same way as Pages. Now, Pages, in order to get it seen on your newsfeed, you have to basically hover your mouse, or if you're on an iPad, etc., you click the button that says friends or liked, and it says get notifications. By clicking the get notifications, it tells you when you are updating a status or sharing a link, and that seems to be the best way to actually get stuff out there. As long as you click the get notifications thing, then it's out there. But still, that pisses me off.
For every one of your fans to have to know that, and to have to go through that process in order to hear your posts.
Yeah.
I think that to see your posts, I think that's onerous, and it's just cynical. I mean, there's other ways to make money without. They have all your information. They can make billions of dollars.
Sure, if I can just come in on this one.
It's the frustrating thing of, okay, although it can take a few seconds to hover over the like or the friends button saying get notifications, it just seems like a waste of time. Why not go back to the way it was before, when you could just show status updates, show links? Much easier.
See, if I can just pop in on this one here, because I can see where where obviously, because I totally, absolutely, 100% agree with both of you on this one, because it is very much a double-edged sword. And you see, the way that Facebook is going is that I read a report that they are shit scared of becoming what MySpace became.
They're on their way, dude.
They are
so on their way.
They're
more relevant by the day.
They are definitely on their way, but they are shit scared of becoming that, because that is what killed MySpace. Because wherever you go, you had someone in your face trying to sell you something, promote something, spam you like hell. I mean, I went back to MySpace a couple of 3 weeks ago just to have a little look, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, whoa! I was on there for a day, and how much?
That's so funny, Johnny, because that's how MySpace is. You go back there every 3 weeks and take note of the fact that you did, in fact, 300 spam messages.
Yeah.
And not one legitimate message.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. But I totally agree with you with the Facebook thing, though, Matt. It is an absolute joke. But at the same time, I see where Sasha's coming, because it is very much a very useful tool. And as much as I've publicly put on Facebook, fuck it, I'm not going to bother with Facebook anymore. I was back on there today. So, I'm a slave to the system.
I'm right there with you, and I've tried to encourage people to join me over at Google+, but the conversation there seems to be a bit one way. And people are posting and not a lot of people are listening.
I just can't get that place, Matt.
No.
Google+.
Google+ was it's a Facebook
is awful.
But you know what? One thing is working for me, Johnny? I'll tell you what's working for me. Fandalism.
Yeah.
It's working for me.
You are a light over there, man. They are loving your stuff over there, yeah. Yeah, every one of your posts.
I've gotten like 4 or 5 times as many plays on Fandalism on every single link that I put out than I do on Reverb and YouTube combined.
Absolutely, I can vouch for that. I was on Matt's Fandalism page today having a look around. Your average play hit is around about the 900 to 1,500 mark. I mean, you wouldn't get that on Reverb Nation as much as they were.
Nope. Because think about it, Fandalism, we've only been using it for 4 months.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So I've already surpassed my Reverb Nation play of all time in 2 years.
Yeah.
I've surpassed that in Fandalism in 4 months.
4 months.
I have a bitch.
Yeah.
About Reverb Nation.
Go for it, fella.
Reverb. Well, Facebook's pissed me off, but Reverb Nation's pissing me off even more. There's charts on Reverb Nation, right? The local chart for me on Reverb Nation has Danny fucking Minogue on it. Right?
How'd that work?
That's the local chart for Leeds, right? Danny Minogue's from fucking Australia.
Yeah.
Why is she on Reverb Nation? Who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
Their whole system is shit. It's just... Sorry.
The thing about Reverb Nation is that their entire premise of using the band, their band equity score, the BES system, by keeping that cloaked and private, and yet allowing you to pay money to influence your score.
Yeah.
It just completely it just really discredits the entire premise of having an index.
Back in the days of Reputation Radio, I had a very, and I'm not going to go into names and dates and times because I'll probably get my ass well and truly screwed, but I had a very, very interesting conversation with the CEO of Reverb Nation because they approached us to do a certain project with them. Now, I was looking at bucks, I was looking at money, I'm thinking, my God, this will do Reputation a world of good, blah, blah, blah. But what you've just said just now, Matt, was the reason I turned away.
Yeah.
Because an absolute disgrace, and I just couldn't, if I wanted to be a greedy mother, I could have turned around and I'll probably be sitting here with, cash out of the pockets and what have you. Well, maybe not, I would have spent it all, but at the same time, but it was just the principle of the whole thing. Then when we're talking about helping out the new music, helping out the new artists and stuff like that, it's a very fine line. If some of these sites, I'm not going to mention who, but some of these sites are definitely not doing it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, it's interesting. So I guess I would summarize my show by saying what I want to do is call out some of the disadvantages and some of the the problems with the online music industry today. But I also want to call out some of the success, which is the music itself, which is amazing. I've completely decoupled myself from commercial music to a fault because I love indie music, and there's so much great rock and roll out there. It's just amazing.
On that, if now, ladies and gents, you probably got the gist now where Rango Unmuzzled is going to be going when we do these shows. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Are you planning to do these shows live as well, Matt, or are we just going to be having the podcast from you just for the moment in January?
Well, here's the thing. I'm tragically lonely and without a band or friends, so I have to do this by myself. Consequently, the voice of Plagueis and the voice of Mona will be present in my radio shows. I've scripted some out, and in order to maximize the humor access and the mashup crossover potential of the the characters that I've invested in for the last year, I need to do this show for the moment by myself, and then upload it. There will be a day in the future where I'll do it with a guitar in my lap and maybe some friends. I have a special friend who I'm not going to discuss it anymore. He asked me to keep it quiet. Who is an amazing musician, and he's coming to stay with me in January. We're going to record an album, and I'll be damned if I can't get that guy on the air. If I can, it'll be there'll be a one-off show, like on a Tuesday night, 10 o'clock. Like, dude, come on, let's get on there.
Well, that sounds amazing. That really does. So the reason I've asked that question, guys, is because what I'm going to be doing, and this is for you listeners out there listening in, because this show is basically a prequel to whataudioburger.com is going to be doing radio show wise from January, the middle of January onwards. I'm going to try and set a night. If it's pre-recorded show, then I'm going to try and set a night for that pre-recorded show to go out as a special, so you can come into the chat room and enjoy the experience with many others. But also the live shows we will be doing Sasha will be on the Thursday, I will be on the Friday, and Jack Chandler will be on a Saturday night by the looks of things. So actually weekend will sort of preview for your weekend well and truly covered. So when it comes to Matthew and to Baz, and we're going to be getting other people in as well, we can probably more or less fill your week up. So that's what we're looking at doing. So
Matt, we're going to pay you back. We're going to pay you back for all the Facebook interruptions, and we're going to give you a week of entertainment constantly.
I mean, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm a total Facebook addict, and there's no doubt about it.
I haven't noticed that.
Yeah, we noticed that. I've changed the fact now, for one of many reasons. I've changed the Audio Burger name on Facebook to Johnny Burger because, to be quite honest with you, the name Audio Burger and then our like page being Audio Burger Blast, people they're just going, I don't get it.
Burger, baby, I love it. It's a meme you can sink your teeth into. Agreed.
Yeah, exactly.
And you totally screwed up, Johnny, because when you started the show, you introduced yourself as Johnny Summers, exactly. And I just want to call that out.
Thank you very much. It's Johnny Burger, and there we go. So, what I was getting to, thanks Matt, what I was getting to was our likey page, which is the website that we're going to be yelling and screaming out on most of our other sites, will be the Audio Burger Blast page, which is our likey page. Come along and have a look, and it'll just be a bulletin page for all of you, as you know the likey pages are, but you're more than welcome to come over to our main Facebook page and scream and shout and see how many times we can get banned. Because I'm serving, like Matt, I'm serving a friend request ban at the moment. I'm also serving a ban.
How did you get a friend request ban?
Well, because
by pushing the add friend button.
The add friend.
Isn't that retarded?
It's just having a very
that
active.
Works right that way. I just can't even believe it.
Which fucktard in Facebook is doing their business modelling? Because like, if you're a band and you want to recruit people, you've got to pay for it on Facebook now.
Yeah.
Well, that's their business model's completely and utterly screwed then, isn't it? Because you're not going to go to Facebook and spend £36 or £40 or £50 or whatever promoting your band when you could do it for free elsewhere, are you?
Well, this is true.
That's exactly it.
This is true.
And here's the other thing. If you simply post text, post a status, and then post your link underneath it, you'll get a much higher proportion of people will see your post. However, there's not as high of an incentive, and people tend to not click on things that don't have previews. So they've kind of got you, with the gun to your crotch.
Yeah.
There's an incentive to pay, because we have an inflated and ephemeral view of this band equity score from Reverb Nation that is absolute bullshit. Nobody ever got signed because they were number one on Reverb Nation. Ever. It doesn't happen. And the fact that we invest so much value in that number is kind of sad, because you know what? Nobody's moving on any of the charts that I'm on. I can go from alternative to metal to rock, and it's all the same people that were there 2 years ago because their budget hasn't changed.
No.
Oh, I did actually. I went up 2 places. Austria went up 2 places the other day.
Yeah.
I'm at number 5. Right?
All
right, hold on.
It's all the same people. Really
if we can just remember then, if we're talking, to give each other a break, because it's just hurting my ears. This is hurting my ears too much.
This is how it is. It's a big family. We're all worked up. I'm all worked up now. See?
My ears are hurting. What's the matter? Right, we're gonna Matthew. I am really stoked you're going to be doing these shows, man, because your mouth needs to get out. And as you can hear, ladies and gents, he's got a lot to say. And when he writes it all down in Facebook, it's sometimes you're like, okay, I'll come back to that later. And I do. I usually read Matthew's posts in segments, because it's a lot easier to do that. But you'll hear all of these segments in one big mouthpiece. Sorry, Matthew. And that'll be on Rango Unmuzzled. And I am really stoked he's going to be doing it with us. So excellent stuff, Matt. Excellent.
Me too. Thank you, sir. Appreciate the opportunity.
No, it's welcome. We're going to play some music. We're going to come back and have another little chat to Sasha, because one of the things, in the excitement of all of this show, one of the things I haven't done, which is really rude of me, and I know Sasha's going to basically come all the way up here to London and smack me in the nuts for doing so, is not actually ask Sasha what type of a show she's going to be doing and everything else like that. So a lot of you out there are probably going, what the fuck's Sasha going to be doing? What's going on? Well, in a couple of minutes, you're going to find out. But before all that, we're going to play you a bit of music. And it's a firm favourite. It's one of the tunes that usually gets the chat room singing along. Can you imagine that? Chat room singing. Come on, Karen, get them all going with a little bit of Tim Bennett, will you? Here we go.
Brother, do you feel alright and do you feel okay? I hear your voice strained across the airwaves. You made a reservation with your past. You turn about face, watch your life crash. But the magic's here after all, and the feeling is mutual. 'Cause there is nothing left to fear. The sky is blue and all is clear. We're high up in the atmosphere. The air is thin and more sincere. Tell me, do you feel alright and have you lost your way? Are you seeing clearly through